Joining us now, it has been a wild night, Brad.
Yeah, and this is just the beginning. I mean, we've got a long 36 hours ahead of us as the remnants or whatever you want to call what's going to be left of Helene gets up here. It could still be a tropical storm or hurricane, maybe up to Atlanta by tomorrow at this time. So just wild to think what we have ahead of us. We've got this heavy rain falling tonight, which is part of the problem. This is kind of setting the stage for the heavy rain that's going to come when Helene does get closer to us. But this is because of a stalled front, and it's creating a lot of moisture. There is Helene. There's the center. And that's the thing about these storms. When you see the forecast cone, it's one of the most popular graphics we show. Everybody looks it up online. That is just where the center is. That is not where the impacts are. The impacts in this case are several hundred, if not 500 miles across, and in some cases 700 to 900 miles north of the center. So you can't just track the middle. I always say online about this, be like in the road and you only tracking where the hood ornament on the truck heading your way is and not worrying about the rest of the truck. Got to worry about the whole thing, not just where the center is. And that center is down here. And as it tightens up, it's going to produce very strong winds. It's also why it's going to produce so much storm surge. The size of this storm is pushing all this water. It's a giant bulldozer pushing water towards this concave shaped area of the coast, which is like that. The water can't go anywhere. So you saw some of the reports, and we were talking about earlier, 20 feet of storm surge. No one's going to survive that on the coast there if you're there. They want everyone to get away. Evacuating all the way inland as well as past Tallahassee into areas of southern Georgia. Hurricane warnings almost up to Atlanta. Tropical storm warnings extend all the way into the Charlotte area because we expect to get tropical storms. Now, tropical storm warnings have just started being issued for inland areas at around 2018. This is the fourth time we've had one in effect for our area. So it does happen about every 2 years or so. Flood watch is up for the flooding. We could see these expanded, but don't just look at where the flood watch is. Anywhere in and around the flood watch areas can see flash flooding. Here's the timing. It's going to start already in the mountains, but for most of the area, it really ramps up during the day tomorrow, and the worst weather is tomorrow night into Friday morning. So we will see the worst weather while people sleep, unfortunately. Tonight, extreme flooding in the mountains. Tomorrow, extreme flooding in the mountains, high to medium flooding risk for our area. Friday, high to medium flood. I mean, this is day after day of this. By Saturday, even Saturday, it gets better, but we still have a low risk for flooding in the mountains. I didn't even talk about the tornado risk east of I-77. Again, 6 to 15 inches, that might be too low in some spots. 3 to 6 across the Piedmont, lesser amounts to the east. So the impacts for us, flash flooding Thursday and Friday. Already seeing some tonight. Gusty winds in the morning Friday could be 30 to 50. Scattered power outages, I think they could be widespread. So let's break this down. We'll go hour by hour with the rainfall and the wind gusts. So we're plotting the wind gust here. Look at the rain in the mountains, just continuing. Tomorrow starts to spread east. Again, the winds aren't an issue yet. Look at that fire hose of moisture tomorrow night. Heavy rain, we'll likely see flooding. Then we start to see heavy rain moving into the Piedmont tomorrow evening. Could see flash flooding here. Watch the rain chances diminish, but the winds start to pick back up. This is the leading edge of Helene moving in. Look at the wind speeds. 40, 50, 60 mile per hour wind gusts. That's going to bring trees and power lines down. This will last until about the middle of the day on Friday. Could see tornadic cells east. By the middle of the day, sunshine could break out. Still breezy, but the worst will be over. So really the 24-hour period from tomorrow afternoon until Friday afternoon, that's the worst of it. By the weekend, we'll see some rapid improvement. Just to show you those wind speeds again, because this is going to be the big story. Even outside the areas that see flooding, this is why we're worried about power outages for most of our areas. So the best thing I could tell you tonight, be prepared for power outages. There's a very high likelihood we're going to see numerous to widespread power outages, especially the further west you go, as we see wet soil and the combination of those 30 to 50 mile per hour winds. Here's a look at your Guy Roofing 7-day forecast. It gets better, folks. We just got to get through the next 24 to 36 hours. We get into Saturday and Sunday, better weather will be here. And let's look long range. Next week, hey, there's autumn. Temperatures in the 70s, morning lows in the 50s.
All right, Brad, thank you.